Hey, Robert Kirby, how are you doing? I need to adjust this, don't I? Holy shit. How the hell did that get down in that corner? Oh well. It's fixed now. There we go. Got it fixed. I mean, that's on purpose. It says Wani instead of want on purpose. Give me a second to finish letting people know that I am streaming and we will begin. Apparently, it's some kind of gator like. What are the folklore creatures in Japan called? Yokai, I think. That sounds right. It's something like that. This is only my second time streaming a visual novel. I streamed this one not too long ago. And I was really liking it. I don't know how well these stream though. So the first time I did this, it was in the middle of the. It was later than this, and no one showed up for the stream. So I don't know if that's going to happen again. I hope not. But hopefully this goes better than my last few streams did, where I basically had no one watching the entire time. Wait, no. This isn't where I was. This is, I think this is it. The computer lab is an offshoot room from our library. To my knowledge, at least, lacks native crocodiles. Shark is probably more closer. I think she's actually technically some kind of dinosaur and not actually a gator, but she looks like a gator. And the library itself, aside from extended emphasis on anatomy, drawing, guides, the like, it's pretty standard. Not to brag, but the school I was at for my freshman and junior year had a library with 2 floors. Probably should have read a thing or two with all those resources. I'm getting off topic. The computer lab is the focus. Calm tranquility of the library is overtaken by the organized sterility of the lab. 40 standardized sets of computers and monitors line the walls, forming pa- panopticon around... What the fuck is that? I didn't even know. I was paying close attention to the novel. I didn't even notice that there was an ad break. For the teacher, around a desk reserved for the teacher in the middle. I remember them being organized quite differently in elementary school, but for a few years now, I've just been seeing this formation. Sounds to me like someone got caught up one too many times working on more risque art pieces. The monitors are all turned on, but only one's logged in. You probably give it a login or something by the school, I would have bet. Weird, there's nobody here. Damien and Ben said Liz would be here, though. Maybe she's in the bathroom. I'm not one to pry and snoop around, but I'm really pressed for time here. On screen, I see PDFs and documents. They look finance related and filled with abbreviations and jargon I don't understand. Maybe I can figure out how to create an account of my own. And based on my past experience, it's usually the school that gives that to you. What are you doing? Ah! Haunted high school! I didn't mean to scare you. Oh, thank Christ. It's just a dino girl with an extremely long neck and not a specter. No, really, what were you doing in the fiscal report I was working on? I didn't do anything. I'm working on that. I've been working on that all day. Why did you touch it? I didn't. I only minimized it, I swear. Right. I'm here for a reason. Are you Liz? The Brachiosaurus fiercely reopens all the windows and for a while types out some information before acknowledging me again. Excuse me? I wanted to submit something for that art contest going on, but I don't have any school login info yet. Ben told me you'd be able to help. Ben, huh? Well, Ben and Damien. She mumbles something under her breath and turns her head back to me. Yeah, I'm Liz. Whoa. Inko. But yeah, I'm new here and I need an account. Not a problem at all. Liz sits down and cracks her knuckles and she starts typing away at the keyboard. She's cute. Alright, I'll see if I can get that done for you. In a flourishing display of spreadsheet software experience, Liz navigates and organizes several documents in seconds. I've always had a general idea that there were a lot of shortcut commands, but yeesh. She's resourceful. So, you're an artist too? Since you want to enter the contest so bad. Yeah, I'm a photographer. Yeah? How are you liking it here so far? Well, students usually jump to asking about what they're graduating here so they can be more easily form connections and collaborate. So, excuse me if I might be going a little too fast. No, not at all. I'm a bit more at ease now that you just explained it. It's pretty good, though. I feel bad about missing most of the first day. It's not a big deal. Guess not. Although, truth be told, I see those paintings framed in the hall by the principal's office, and it does put a bit of rain on my parade. Yeah, you see how talented other people are, you know? Oh, those. Yeah, I get what you mean. I think that's by design, honestly. Something about breaking the students' egos. I mean, don't get yourself a big ego, right? Then you end up wanting to improve like crazy so you can reach your goals. At least that's what happened to me. I'm planning on going to university and getting degrees in design and business. Well, good luck with that, Liz. And that's just the start. I'm also starting to become an apprentice for art dealings and getting the right paintings for the right people. My tutor said I'm impressive enough. I should start enrolling for any and all important universities around the country I'd like. That's very kind of your tutor. Wow. I mean, I'm also pretty well off myself, but it never occurred to me that I should be this ambitious. Thank you. What about you? Okay, we'll go with going to publish a photography magazine. That sounds interesting. Well, it's something. At least it's more than a lot of people here. What do you mean? Like half the school may as well just be in daycare. Chaucing? What do you mean? Did I miss a misspelling? Sorry if that sounds rude. We've got these school programs and even industry professionals coming in for lectures, and it's like some people are here just because their friends happen to be here too. No big plans, it seems. Yeah. Wait, you mean like Damien? Yeah, I shouldn't have mentioned it. Should we be worried about Damien? He's still cool, though, don't get me wrong. I hope me talking about him to you like this doesn't come across as douchey. He's definitely a friendly type. He even partnered with me in gym class and dragged me along to sit with him at lunch. Is that so? Yeah, he's really excited about it too. And he had introduced you to Olivia as well and tried to break the ice so she can come out of her shell? Yeah, how'd you know? I get the feeling Damien's done this to Liz. Oh boy, I'm sorry about that, Inko. What? Is Damien messing with me? No, Damien's great. He just may be a little too eager. If he considers you a friend to him, he'll want you to be our friend too. Specifically, he'll want you to be Olivia's friend. He's worried about her. That's what that means. What's wrong with that? Nothing at all. But you've seen Olivia, you could probably tell she's a bit unresponsive? I don't really like to talk about anyone, not even Damien. So you can definitely try to be her friend, but just know that she'll most likely ignore you. You don't like Olivia? No? What? No, I do. She's fine, I guess. I sit with her during lunch, after all. And I'm sure you'll get along with us just fine. I mean, we seem to get along with Damien just fine. And hey, I'd love to see Olivia make a friend. Just don't get too invested trying to get her to warm up to you. Damien will always be down to hang out, though, and I certainly don't mind. It's just that him and Olivia are nigh inseparable, so if the deal turns you off, then it's not your fault either. There's history to that warning. Oh, so they have a history. That something went wrong, I guess. Inseparable? So they're like girlfriend and boyfriend? No, no, no. They just live in the same house. Oh. Damon's also incredibly patient and outgoing. Yeah, we've seen that. I envy him. But yeah, he would like nothing more than everyone to get along like best buddies. I mean, wouldn't we all? But it's never going to happen. Too many people are too different from each other. Unless you're like Damien and you can be pleasant with a brick wall forever, your time is probably better spent elsewhere. So, how serious are you about your ambitions? Pretty serious, I think. Liz nods. Something to keep in mind then. It's a struggle, but Damien says we gotta keep trying, right? Yeah, man. That's true. Liz gives me a half-hearted smile, but she still seems sad about something. Yeah, they have a history that we're going to learn about eventually, I bet. Anyway, sorry for talking your ear off about private matters. You still want to get that submission turned in? She stopped for a second on the tab to scan for something and got it. She motions her head back to the back of the room at the printer as it hums to life. I get up and get the paper. Both my username and password are here. Here are strings of numbers. I'll take a snapshot of the username and password so I don't have to remember it. Yeah, if it's a string of numbers, I'd have difficulty remembering it too. But I would say get LastPass, which is logging into the school's computers here, so they might not want you putting LastPass or OnePass or whatever on it. Thanks. Anyway, you should hurry. Lunch is ending soon. Right, according to time display on the monitor, I've only got 10 minutes left. I follow the instructions on the printout and finally getting the students hub of the site. And thankfully the art contest is displayed prominently across it. Clicking through a couple of links, I finally find the submission instructions. It's simply a matter of putting my entry details as the name of the file and dragging it into the school's shared drive. Is my gym partner's a monkey a show? That name sounds familiar, but I don't know from where. Plugging in my portable portfolio hard drive, I create a copy of my magnum opus, then a quick rename and drag it in here, and just in time. I take the extra minute to safely undock my hard drive and then log off the computer. Looking back at Link, she's completely wrapped up in her work. don't think interrupting her is a good idea, especially after she said about Olivia and her own time. I opt to simply leave her be, heading out to the library, heading out of the room and the library for class. Well, I mean, I would have at least said goodbye. Just see you later, Liz. That just simple. After all, it's time for class, and I'm looking forward. It's time for the class I've been looking forward to the most. This day is certainly turning out better than yesterday. Hope I didn't just jinx it for myself. My nerves had been acting up when I first stepped back into the classroom. Made even worse when I was hit with another flashbang. After my 20 other classmates had finished laughing, Mr. Idacon, I think is how you pronounce that, I don't know, made a waving of freshly taken photos from a fancy fold-up camera from the 70s. I dubbed this portrait, I don't fucking know how to pronounce that, so I'm not even going to try. To show that aired on Cartoon Network. See, I remember it being a show, but it's not something I ever watched, so I don't know anything about it, to be honest. Hey, Ben. After he thumbtacked the shot on a corkboard filled with poor snapshots of everyone else, I can reassured me and set me right next to Ben. Let me see if that was him that just messaged me on Telegram. It is. He managed to sum up his syllabus in under a minute instead of taking the majority of the time to go over the first lesson assignment on exposure and lighting. With each new light fixture he brought out, he explained, I felt my mind swirl faster with new possibilities of old shots. If only I had that then, or I could have used that there. Now that you've had a small taste of it, we'll start you on your first photography assignment. Proper lighting. I'm salivating at the thought. As Anakin had just finished his first lesson where he handed out all sorts of equipment to look over. It's the first time I've handled some of these, like the enormous box light. It's still taking up the entirety of my desk. Remember, though, that these are tools meant to enhance the photo. I actually have a little set of lights that I use when I not shoot photos, but shoot video. There's only 3 of them, but it works. Remember though, oh, I already read that. You can highlight a turd all you want, it's still a turd. That's funny. The crude language guaranteed a chortle from a few half-listening students. Yeah, I laugh. Teacher looks over the clock and hums. Well, I see we managed to finish this lecture a tad bit early. Why don't you all take the last 10 minutes to compare notes, maybe even consider doing the assignment as a collab piece with a classmate? I bet Ben wants to collab. The room is quick to fill with the sounds of chatter. I wonder if Hey! I turn to Ben and see his eager grins. Do you want to do a joint piece? Since you don't know any good spots at the school at all? I pull out the assignment sheet, and beneath it is the lightweight light on my desk, and give it a quick scan again. Present a set of photos demonstrating your understanding of proper lighting. You are allowed to borrow one lighting tool and must take the shot on school premises. And I swear I've handed out this assignment for years. I've handed out this assignment for years now. If one student just takes a picture of the hallway outside the classroom, I'm going to personally throw them over the railing. That's funny. Be original, please. I've got the perfect place for it. If we work together, we can even use 2 items. The offer is so tempting. Yeah, take it. Sure. I hold out my hand and Ben takes it and shakes it, sealing the pact. Ben seems like a cool guy. My face is feeling weird from all the smiling today. He's in a good mood. But in truth, I've been enjoying Mr. Idickett's class so much that I couldn't stop. It feels like I've had the entire world to gain from Mr. Idickett's lessons. It's slowly zooming in, and the entire world to explore, seeing as ever since the move, I hadn't had time to actually explore Volcandera Bluffs. So on occasion, I go out on my own to parks and stuff, but who doesn't? Besides, I'd be a pretty lame photographer if I didn't go out and find stuff to photograph. You know what? I've been meaning to do a little looking around here. So everyone, just answer him, damn it! So everyone else's this assignment makes them have to explore the school, but I get to. Pretty sweet deal, if I do say so myself. This is whole inner monologue, isn't it? The hall outside the classroom is only one major photo op. Between that and the murals outside, I'm certain to find something cool. No, the murals won't work on their own. Since it was my first thought to use them, this means it's likely someone else's first thought. I need to think outside the box a bit. Think of some way to use the school's architecture to my advantage in a way that... There you go! My thoughts are disrupted by a worried-looking Ben. Yeah, that's all inner monologue. He's just standing there, like, staring blankly and thinking. And Ben's like, hello! Ego! Maybe you should see a doctor, man. Head injuries are no laughing matter. I'm fine. What were you saying? I was asking how you were doing, with school and classes now. Oh, right. Doing good. Really good, actually. I'm in a class that I'm 100% enjoying and starting to make genuine friendships. Compared to the disaster of yesterday, today has been astoundingly positive. That's good to hear. Yeah, I've even got some friends now. Great. Oh, and what about your art submission? Was Liz able to help? There's something nibbling at the corner of my thoughts at the mention of the long neck, but she's cute. And she gave me a log. Yeah, she gave me a login stuff and everything. Uploading submission was a piece of cake after all. Awesome, though that does make you just though that does make you competition now. Friendly competition, I'm sure. Both Liz and I have pieces in the running too. She told me she had submitted something. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned since I didn't have much time at all to prepare anything, but hey, everyone's got a chance. You never know. Yeah, she was pretty cool about it too. That whole friend group is pretty welcoming. I think I'm pretty lucky. Lucky? Ben seems perplexed by my statement. You said something at lunch when Olivia vanished. I'm noticing for a silent paraplegic, she sure has a lot of people upset. You got some hidden drama with her too? No, not really. Wait, two? Who? Ida calls out to us, strutting over to inspect. I take it you gentlemen are conversing on your assignment together. I mean, kinda, but also kinda no. Of course, Mr. Ida. We were just discussing where we'd like the picture, right, Ben? Well, that's good then. Good thing you guys weren't talking about something off topic like gossip. That would be a pretty embarrassing to use your time off use of your time right off the bat, I think. Especially considering you're currently the subject of some fairly humorous gossip, aren't you, Mr. Nito? I'm awash with a wave of shame from his words. I look at Ben, I can see he feels it as well. If the air around someone needs clearing, clear it up yourself. Like it has a point. Maybe once a friendship is established, I can learn more about her. Alright, off you go, and remember to get your assignment done by the end of the week. The room empties slowly, most of my peers still chatting and discussing their plans for the assignment. Before I can continue talking with Ben about our own project, the Stuco president is already packed up and exiting the room. Well, he left quickly, didn't he? Guess we'll talk later then. Packing up my own notebook, I wave goodbye to my new favorite teacher and head off to my next class. Walking into history class for the first time, and it's about what I expect it to look like. Pictures of historical figures, small relics from various regions, and cartography of the Earth during its stages of continental drift. Though I notice that there's a distant lack of a teacher in the class. Or distinct lack of a teacher in class. Blah, blah, blah. Must be finishing up their lunch, I assume? Well, better get a good seat before they're all taken. Eeny, meeny, miny, this one. I settle myself into my chosen desk and pull out my history book and notebook along with a pencil. As the classroom fills more and more students, it becomes a blur of vibrant scales. Do you know how weird it would be to be the only human in a school full of dinosaur people? A few minutes pass, and I'm still wondering where the teacher is. Suddenness of the door slamming open stops any and all noise. It's quite enough to hear a pin. It's quite enough to hear a pin drop. Him. The figure walks into class and, oh sweet heaven, no! He stands there and stares down at everyone menacingly. He's just standing there, menacingly. He's the history teacher too? Thanks for walking me to my class, Solly. Of course, Miss Prockling. Oh, thank Raptor Jesus. Oh, I think that's the first mention of Raptor Jesus. That was also in Snoot Game. Jesus Christ in this universe is a raptor. He does exist, and he is a raptor. I wonder if we see him in this, because I don't remember seeing him in Snoot Game. Or like some kind of depiction of him. He isn't our teacher. The raptor woman adjusts her glasses as she scans through the room before looking down at the paperwork in her hands. Like, all the chicks in this game are cute. Just throwing that out there. Looks like we'll have some late arrivals, but let's get down to business. I know that I introduced myself yesterday, but for anyone who wasn't here, her momentary glance makes me believe Solly told her about my absence. Either that or, you weren't here yesterday and she was like, hey, you're new. My name is Miss Prockling, and this is history class. In this course, we'll be learning about the history of our primeval ancestors and their advancements through history. A joke about budget cuts. Why? Because I lost my train of thought. You can even say that it'll be like going back in time. Doesn't that sound exciting? Despite her admittedly forced enthusiasm, everyone in class responds with an uninterested murmuring. Not sure why, though, this all sounds exciting. Sigh. She walks over to her desk and places her pile of folders before flipping open her own special version of the history book. With a click of a button, she turns on the projector to reveal a prepared slideshow for today's lecture. To learn about the extensive history of Saurians and their culture is something I've yearned for. If you can turn your book to page 36, we'll begin with the first chapter detailing the earliest interaction between Saurian and hominids. Oh, that sounds interesting. I think I jinxed myself. Miss Brockling's history class, the polar opposite of Ideken's photography class. I mean, did you expect it to be exactly the same? Because history and photography are two very different things. One is something you actively do, and the other is something you could learn about. While her introduction to the class engaged me at first, things slowed down to an unbelievably slow crawl. My eyes scan over the introductory texts of the first chapter. Despite the tension between the two groups, human settlers to the New World would continue to make overtures of trade with the native Velociraptor tribes. I bet the humans got to the New World and then saw Velociraptor people and went, "Oh God, what the fuck?" I'm sure I've read this line 3 times now. I tear my eyes away from the page in hopes of blinking the boredom away. I look up at the teacher, staring down at various papers on her desk with laser focus. I must have stared too long because I end up locked in a staring contest with Brooklyn. She raises an eyebrow at me. Okay then. Right. Write down notes of pages 3 through 7 about the discovery of the new world. Without even comprehending the words before me, I'm copying a page down to the letter in my notebook. That's not just taking notes, buddy. That's not how that works. Absent-mindedly, I begin to recall something that happened so far with my new classmates. Ben carries himself with a lot of refinement and is easily my first pick as photography partner. But that Mia girl, she doesn't seem to want to make friends. Of course, I could have figured that out with the cold look she gave me yesterday, not to mention the rude hand gesture. Damien's very friendly, even if he can be a bit too enthusiastic sometimes. Yeah, Damien's cool. I like Damien. And though my encounter with Liz was brief, I can tell she's dependable. My progress in making friends seems to be pretty good, all things considered. But then there's Olivia. So far, she's still an enigma, coupled with an apparent history she has with others. It makes me all more curious about her. Liz said it would be a bad idea to get invested, but in the end, it's effectively gossip and hearsay. This had to come as something of a shock to me, but and what do we have here, Miss Halford? Sudden voice provocatively snaps me out of my thoughts. I lean my head over to see the teacher looking down at. Hi, Olivia! Wait a minute, Olivia's here too? Well, you didn't scan the class very closely, did you? As luck would have it, I share not one, but 2 classes with Olivia. I must have been so jaded from trying to read this textbooks that I didn't even notice the girl with the wheelchair. But she's cute. Look at her. She sits in the front row diagonally in front of me. And I don't think she's noticed this strange twist of fate. Only the second day of school and you're already doodling in class again. She proceeds to pick up the piece of paper from Olivia's desk. Looks like... Oh, ad break. I'll wait for the ad break to end. All right. It's over now. Looks like she's drawing on it though I can't tell what it is from where I'm sitting. Listen, Olivia, I know history isn't the most exciting subject to learn, but could you at least pretend that you're taking notes? The only response I hear from Olivia is a heavy sigh before leaning her head back down. While the teacher returns to skulking around the room, Olivia hunches over a notebook. Although I don't think those are notes she's taking. Nah, no one could do something like that with a totalitarian teacher patrolling the room. It's an attempt to get all of us to focus, but I'm fighting a losing battle to keep my eyelids from shutting. I've been in classes that were like that. I have. My jaw is clenched tight to suppress a loud yawn building inside me as Miss Brockling skulks right past me. Shouldn't that have, wait? Shouldn't that be Pat? P-A... That doesn't look right. Maybe I'm wrong. Just before my drowsiness can overtake me, though, I notice movement in the corner of my eye. One of my classmates glances up at the teacher, whose eyes are roving over the opposite side of the room and down to scribble something down. The paper is then folded into a neat little note, and I watch as the next person carefully unfolds the note, as the scribbles on it were folding and passing it along again. Curiosity thoroughly piqued, I await anxiously in my seat before the paper gets to me. It's a dangerous game, passing a note along so Prockling doesn't see. If I'm participating, does this mean make me a slacker? The student to my side makes his move to toss the note over, but Prockling starts turning around right then. He flinches and drops the hot potato on my desk in a flash. I nearly slam down my own paper over the page to cover it from sight. Miss Brockling continues to lecture about how raptors and humans eventually started to get along because they traded narcotic leaves or something like that. As you can see on the board here, now, I left my paper. Luckily, there's plenty of space left. And what everyone else as for what everyone else has drawn, not so solid attempt at a race car, rough sketch of some eyes, a bunch of doodles, names in various italicized fonts that I could only describe as graffiti. And, of course, it's not high school if someone hasn't drawn. That's funny. Miss Prockling with stink lines coming out of her. Yeesh, better not get caught with this. That being said, I'm drawing a blank. What should I draw? I don't exactly doodle every day. Huh. Drawing stuff for others is a nice gesture. Maybe I'll try to break the ice a bit, although I don't really know anything about her. Hey, can't hurt to try though, yeah? I think of a few things to sketch out here. Let's see. Man, I can't draw for shit. I'm gonna write that down. There we go. That'll do. And done. I didn't have a lot of room to really work with, but I just admire my work. I find that I have a long way to go. It feels like I'm being mogged by the other doodles. I mean, I literally just wrote, I can't draw for shit. Alright, Olivia's sure to like this. Is she? Maybe she'll get a laugh out of it. I don't know. Miss Prockling is turned around. Alright, if I slip the paper over Olivia's shoulder. Wait, she's like directly in front of you and you didn't notice her? I won't have to get up and risk getting caught. And here we go. It's a bit tricky and I hesitate, but the paper meets its destination. She doesn't even look back, just takes the paper eagerly. It's completely different from how she was acting earlier. Well, she loves to draw. She loves to draw. Her tail even swaying side to side. Oh, she's adorable. Oh, is that wagging? Huh. Alright. She's going to see my sketch possibly and think I'm cool. I doubt it. I literally just wrote, I can't draw for shit. She's not turning around. Well, it's not much. It could also just... I'll be taking that. Miss Rockling snatches up the paper from Olivia's claws. She holds her arms out. She takes a glance at the paper with a small, cracks a smile and appears on her face before going back to stoic visage. So, is this how you view me, Miss Halford? The Progling holds up the paper for all to see. Everyone in class does their best to avoid her persecuting gaze. I think that most of you were a part of this as well. Yeah. And Olivia didn't draw you with stink lines, if that's what you think. Look, I'm not asking for much. Please do your assignments when you're in class. It's the least you can do. We were just passing a note one at a time. She wasn't even paying attention. Yeah, how can all of us get in trouble? I noticed Prockling looking down at Olivia for a moment and then letting out a sigh of defeat. Look, since it's only the second day, I'll be letting this one slide, but I'm warning you now that I won't be leaning it the next time it happens. Alright, you sleep well, Robert. Have a good night. Otherwise, you'll end up like the last student who decided to disrupt during class. What happened to him? Get attention slip or something? Miss Broccoli pulled up the window blinds and pushes the window screen open. She takes out a walkie-talkie. Sully? Yep, another hippie. Seat H4. Good job, soldier. Now, if we can, let's continue. We're on the second floor. I sink back into my seat and continue writing, mainly out of an adulterated fear of experiencing the same wrath from the teacher. Man, now I feel guilty for Olivia. I was the one who to pass her the note after all. Maybe I shouldn't have tried. Well, I can always apologize after class. Miss Prockling places the note and continues with her lecture for another half hour. With 10 minutes left in class, I see Prockling look at the clock above the door. I then notice Olivia grabbing her attention as if she knew what she's already doing to say to her. The teacher nods her head. Olivia grabbed the backpack and shoves all of her things into it. In silence, she wheels herself to the door, opens it, and rolls out. The teacher must have noticed me watching her leave. Accommodations. Well, there goes my chance of saying sorry to her. Feeling defeated, I noticed the focus on writing down. I decided to focus on writing down my notes for the rest of the time left. I mean, you sit with her at lunch, you will get a chance to say bye to her. Although I do wonder, she must have noticed my doodle. Did she just ignore that? I mean, I literally just wrote, I can't draw for shit. What do you want? Class comes and goes, and I head home on the metro. Another day, another dollar, though the time passes on the mini breakfast burritos. And how bad they messed me up during PE yesterday. I don't want my stomach to endure that torture again. Instead, I got a few hash browns from a fast food joint by the metro. I idly scroll through my feed as I usually do while the metro jostles about to my destination. It's been a few days now, and the strange scent of extremely cheap detergent and alcohol have become an afterthought. Some of the vines are actually plastic, and the flowers are little air fresheners. It's not actually something I noticed, more so witnessed when a bypasser tried eating one. Some of the vines are real though, and for some reason they go untouched anyways. Maybe they're not too tasty? Vegetarians don't eat the grass in their lawn after all, right? Huh. Anyway, a light has gone out and someone has dropped a wrecking ball next to me. Must be Mr. Ferris. Hey, buddy. Good morning, Inko. Good morning. Has work been going fine? It has, slowly, but I am very thorough. I hate the idea of a place of learning not being an ideal place to learn. I appreciate our talks. Your perspective really helped me understand the student body more. You're welcome. Hey, have you given more thought to that fashion thing? I have, although I can't say I really get it. There's plenty to see everywhere if you just look around. Really? Like what? Well, like look at the girl on the other side end of the car. It's rather revealing. I don't think that's really for me. I love my wife. You married her, so I would hope so. I mean, as an example. Well, there's an event coming up. I could see about trying something new. What would you recommend? That's a good question. What would be good to use here? In my inner eye, I conceptualize the coolest possible Ferris. The fresh machine is going full throttle. First, sunglasses. His eyes may be a little too far apart for that. However, being. Moving on. Big guns, fresh jacket. There you go. The coolest possible Ferris. Mr. Nito? Sorry, just thinking. Why don't you start with... right uncle, frosted glass, dim room sunglasses, cotton refab beanie number 27, all season, cross printed jacket. Let's go with the jacket. Really now? Those all sound rather expensive. Yeah, they are. You know what? Try a gold chain necklace. A what? Yeah. Just make sure it's appropriately sized so it doesn't look silly. I'm sure it would go a long way, and they're pretty cheap to get. Well, alright. I'll take your word for it. We sure talk about fashion a lot, though. Is it really everything about these days? Oh, of course not. What do you want to know about? Oh my god. I've heard the term thrown around recently. That was like 5 years ago. Oh. Mr. Ferris and I talk about contemporary urban slang until we arrive at our stop. Art. Mr. Idekin had just been talking about our first project for the class. As soon as he said the word, Olivia's hand shot up. Oh, look at her smile! See how cute! Her gray eyes sparkle with excitement, and a smile threatening to crush perpetual frown etched into her snout. The girl vibrates in her seat as she waves her arm, trying to get the teacher's attention. Mr. Idekin's own smile was strained as he and Olivia engaged in a staring contest with one another. I could only marvel as the two argued with each other without a single word. Eventually, Idekin turning off the lights and turning on the cheap projector hanging from the ceiling, and playing a safety video about painting that felt far too graphic for a school setting. How do you have a graphic video about painting? Like, are you talking about like painting buildings and people fall off the buildings to their death? That would be graphic. Just saying. I don't think I'll be able to eat barbecue for a while. Thoroughly defeated, Olivia crosses her arms and pouts at her seat. And that is why we won't be using any of the more exotic materials for any projects, Miss Halford. Ugh. Maybe I should have just skipped breakfast entirely. I still don't see the problem. Once you've all had the proper safety handling courses in the second semester, you'll be allowed to use oil-based paints. Until then, however, All the assignments will require safer supplies. Hey, it's after midnight. It's officially my birthday. I'm turning 39. Until that time, however, all assignments will require... Oh, I already read that. And since we pivoted to this... Pivoted to this, might as well finish the full video. The grumpy Gator holds a hand to her throat, mumbling to herself as she grabs a metal flask and drinks from it. The entire display from her was mystifying, at odds with how Ben and Liz described Olivia. In fact, it kind of reminded me of me? I can understand why. After all, Idakin is letting Ben and I use some of the equipment in photography. That thrill of experimentation, of new possibilities. No doubt that brings out the creative sparkle in her eyes. Eyes that fill with pure malice as they glare daggers my way. Oh, was I staring? Oops. Before I can offer an apology, she already had her hands on the wheels. She rolls up to Idakin's desk. He leans forward and... He leans forward intently. I can't make out anything that's said through the video, but going by the occasional glare back, it's not hard to imagine. Crap, I really didn't mean to offend. Idakin notices I am watching the motions for me to come forward. Slowly, I shift out of my seat and approach the desk. Alright, is something going on here? Idakin speaks in a hushed tone, loud enough for me to hear over the makeshift matinee. Olivia's telling me you are making goofy faces at her? No. I said he's been staring at me all through class. Huh. It's weird. Like he's never seen someone like me. Can't you move him to a different seat? Hold on a sec, Olivia. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm sure this is just a misunderstanding. Mr. Idakin. It's like she's a different person here. She fizzes out a canteen of water, bringing it to her mouth. You're giving a lot of leeway when it comes to seat assignment, but asking for something like this? I just want him to leave me alone. She sips again. What's that about? Well then, Inko, you tell us. What's on your mind? Can't have disagreements between classmates this early in the year. I'm confused. I didn't know there was any disagreement between us. Sometimes it's the little things you do that don't... Sometimes the little things you do that you don't even think about that affect people the most. Anything like that come to mind? I shake my head. Olivia's glare diminishes away from my field of view. I mean, I've been a bit curious about her since we sit next to each other. I'm friends with some of her friends. We all sat together at lunch yesterday. Idakin nods to himself thoughtfully. Sounds like he just wants to hang out, Olivia. Her face scrunches up at the mere thought. Not really interested. He's distracting me from classwork. I want to watch the video without being gawked at. Sorry, I didn't mean it. Doesn't resolve the issue for. Does that resolve the issue for you, Olivia? No, I want some. No, I don't want somebody in this class. She takes out another sip but ends up turning the canteen upside down. All gone. Ugh. Olivia, you can go fill that up if you want. You won't be missing anything. The video's nothing you don't already know, I'm sure. Olivia's eyes me suspiciously, slowly moves out the door towards the nearest water fountain. Anakin sighs. Alright. He leans back in his chair, his arms resting behind his head. Inko, I told you yesterday if the air needs clearing, do it yourself. Now she's in a mood because you were staring at her like a weirdo. And here I thought you two would get along. She even gave you that sketch she made of you. Truthfully, I'm impressed, but here we are. What's going on, big guy? Again, sorry. It's been a pretty busy few days. Yeah, I've gotten into a cool group of friends. We're all sit together at lunch. Olivia's there too. She didn't say much, but I got her a soda. I don't know why she's so upset with me. It's nothing personal, Inko. It's not? She's reticent, especially when it comes to change. If you're at her lunch period too, I can see why she'd be wary of you. If you don't mind me asking, Mr. Anakin. Yes? Why is she so open with you? How do you mean? Just now, she spoke more in this conversation than all the other times I've seen her yesterday. I saw the canteen. I figured it's something to do with her voice, but it's surprising. Her water bottles the other way around. It's unfortunate, but she's just really rarely talks at all. I guess she just really trusts me. I've known her since she was a freshman. She seems to gravitate more toward art and how I taught it, and soon enough I took her under my wing. But she lives with Damien, right? She's at the lunch table. She still barely talks to him. Poor kid. Hope he's doing alright. He seems to be alright. Yeah, she's distant to everyone else. So much so I keep hearing weird things about her. Anakin leans forward in his chair, suddenly attentive. Is this about you gossiping with Ben yesterday? A bit. He showed up at the table and said something about her being the same after she left. Probably some drama, but I don't want to pry. He nods. But also Liz told me some weird things too. He stops nodding. I know of her. Is something wrong? No. He just said I shouldn't get invested in being her friend. Everyone's being real weird about it. So I was curious for myself. Guess that's why I was looking at her weird. Sorry. Anakin rubs his temples. Ay. It's worse than I thought. What is? I'll put it this way. You've met 3 people that know Olivia other than me. Of those three, only one thinks highly of her, and the other two start unloading drama on anyone willing to listen. In this case, you. No wonder you're confused. I hadn't thought of it like that. I don't blame you. You shouldn't be involved in anything stupid. High schoolers, you know. I guess. Idakin inhales, collecting his thoughts. Important question then. Do you really want to be Olivia's friend? Huh? I mean, I guess. A judging eyebrow is raised my way. Are you really or just curious about her? He seems pretty serious about this. Yes, then. Olivia returns to class and rolls right back up to the desk. Back? Have you changed his desk yet? Idekin nudges his head toward me, expectantly prodding me on. I'm sorry I distracted you during class, Olivia. She looks at Idekin and gets a similar nod. Sure. I mean, you're welcome. I mean, thanks, shit. But, no, really, I don't want to be distracted. Come on now, Olivia, at least you two could give him another chance. You never know. I don't really want to know. I get he's like friends with Damien, but I don't really want to, not in this class. But I'd like you to be your friend. She stops and raises an eyebrow, lots of those going around recently. Like she was expecting this response. She looks to Idekin for help. Actually, Olivia, I also think he'd make a good friend for you. What? His words were like a battering ram. I'm simply saying to give Inko here a chance. I could almost see the imaginary bulwark she hid behind slowly crumbling from what Idekin was saying. You are both quite similar at heart, though you may have different methods. Perhaps you'll find some compromise behind cynicism and naivete if you work together. Finally, the last fragment of her imaginary fortress collapse. Olivia can only look at the art teacher with timid confusion painted across her features. Well, I don't... Are you for real, Mr. Idekin? I am. He's actually another class of mine. I've seen him. He's passionate about his camera like you are about the brush. I do expect great things from him. Okay. Sorry, I really thought that, oh. She accidentally bit her tongue. Her mouth is clamped shut. It's just my opinion. You can make your own choices, Olivia. She nods furiously. Oops. The movie's about to end. You two should get back to your seats. We good here? Olivia eyes me again and nods once more. All right. Emotions for us to skedaddle. Olivia backs away to her spot. Thanks, Mr. Idekin. For what? I just gave an opinion. I'm serious. It's up to the two of you if you want to be friends. Don't screw it up. He waves me off and gets up to flip on the lights. I get back at my seat and stare absent-mindedly at the projector screen as I digest Idekin's words. He said he only gave his He said he only gave his opinion, but it seems like he also gave me an opportunity to take the right steps in connecting with Olivia. And with that, he said he's being passionate, her being passionate with a brush, it's gotten me even more curious about her artistic prowess. Speaking of whom, I notice she occasionally gives me a side eye. I don't think she could see my eyes due to the dim lighting combined with my shades. She stares at me with a sense of strange curiosity, almost as if she's trying to get a read of me from my face alone. From what I could tell, by her facial cues, she seems confused and almost shaken up. It's like she wants to say something but keeps backing away at the last second. Guess her mind is jostling around from Idekin's words. Our teacher flicks the light switch and I feel my retina burn from the bright lamp lights with my sunglasses. Alright, normally in your first week, we'd be doing something simpler with a color swatch wheel. However, I think you could all manage something a bit more advanced. The Gator girl's head whipped around at the sound advanced. Yeah, that would get her attention, I bet. However, Olivia was thinking before regarding me. She seems to be forgotten as she focuses almost entirely on the teacher. Idekin holds up a stack of papers for us to see. First things first, I'd like you all to fill out these topic sheets so that I know you understand how to safely handle oil-based paints. Last thing we need is another burnt down classroom. Someone burned down a classroom with oil-based paints. Holy shit. The way Idekin said those words make me imagine some pretty horrible outcomes. Yeah, burned down classroom. Yeah, that would. Once you're finished your sheets, bring them to me and I can review them. I'll be giving you permission sheets after I know you lot won't set yourselves on fire or poison yourselves. Oh, another ad. All right, we're back. The Allosaur guy at the front, in front of me, hands back the sack, and I take a page from it before handing the rest to the Diplo girl behind me. My eyes scan over the sheet. What grade of masks do snouts longer than 3 inches require? And a realization hits me. I didn't see the first half of that video. My eyes scan over the page and I groan when I see questions I have no answer for. All of them pertaining to dinosaur anatomy. I mean, dinosaur anatomy wouldn't be all that important to you in specific, I suppose, because you're not gonna need whatever masks and shit for dinosaurs, you know? The art teacher looks directly at me and then to the side. I try to decipher his meaning, following his eyes. Oh. I turn my sheet and lean closer to Olivia. Hey, what? What now? What? What is it? I'm not gonna let you draw me. What the hell? Looking at her paper, I see she's already answered the questions I couldn't. I know her own page tapping the upper section that was still blank. Olivia groans and looks at Ida completing. She gets all she gets for her troubles is a thumbs up. Ugh. Fine. Fine. Here. She holds the sheet for me. Wait, isn't this cheating? The teacher wouldn't answer. When did he get to his desk? Why does he have a sleeping mask? If I look over the answers, I could still learn the safety procedures. Yeah, that's what he wanted. So, what's the difference in the end? That must be what he's thinking. Either that or he doesn't care. I copy the word from Olivia's sheet, doing my best to at least rephrase them. Some of my classmates are already walking up to Idekin's desk. He's barely. I mean, the stuff you were talking about specifically applies to dinosaurs, which you're not. So, why? I mean, why not? He's barely reading pages, not even taking the sleeping mask off. Thanks, Olivia. Whatever. Olivia finished the page in a few seconds and wheels herself to the desk. The last answer I'm fairly confident on. Like what flashpoint means. I get up to go to Idekin's desk and set my safety assignment down. Good. Here's your permission slip to use hazardous paints. He didn't even bother to look over my worksheet. He lifts the eye mask on his face and looks at me with one eye. What? Most of the stuff doesn't apply to you, Inko. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Just don't paint or get... Just don't drink the paint or get it in your eyes and you'll be okay. Yes, Mr. Idekin. Attaboy, now go back to your desk and wait for class to end. Tomorrow I'll be starting you all on something simple, like painting a cube or a ball. Yes, model dodgeball painting. The eye mask drops down and I return to my seat. Class clock reads 5 minutes until lunch. Olivia's back leering at me. I consider what I should do or say for some sort of icebreaker. Mr. Idekin said we're similar, so I can start what he means, but I'm a photographer and she's a painter. So, Cubis and Dadaist walk into a bar. Have a good lunch now. The moment the bell rings, Olivia shoves most of her things into her backpack, not caring if her notebook gets crushed. Once she zips up, she races out of the classroom. Guess she doesn't want to get caught up in the chaos of the lunchroom stampede. I managed to avoid getting stuck in a frenzy by shuffling along the wall to the long way around the lunchroom. It's a bit longer, but at least less risk of getting use as an improvised meat club. Hey, why don't I just go through the courtyard? That's right next to the table. Damn it. Next time. Hey, is there a palm tree or something by the table now? Never seen one with a trunk that's green? I get around the last crowd and approach the table. I bet it's Liz. Damien's here, chowing down on the sandwich stacked with various meats. And like yesterday, Olivia's already at the table. Hey, Damien. You seen Liz? Thought she was going to join us for lunch. Without a word, Damien points to the palm tree next to us. Yeah, I figured as much. Oh, crap. It's not a tree. Yeah, I figured it was her. Hi, Liz. I look at Liz's head and the rafters. Prodding the vine to the ceiling. The ceiling was a lot lower in the computer lab, so I couldn't tell as easily, but that neck is long. Anyways. Hey, Liz. Hey, Inko. Couldn't see you from up here till I heard you. Guess I'll go ahead and get my food from the vending machines again. Making my way over to the vending machine, I do the same song and dance I did last time. A card swipe, a few button presses, later earned me a couple of cans of soda, bags of chips, and a few candy bars. That is certainly a lunch, I guess. It's like when a teacher asks if you brought enough candy for everyone, only now it's true. I always wondered about that. You know, I did have teachers in school that would say, did you bring enough for everyone? When someone was caught eating in class or whatever, what would happen if the teacher said that and then the next day that person did bring enough for everyone? What would the teacher do? Did you bring enough for everyone this time? Yes, I did. You know? I head back to our table and bundle food stuff in my makeshift pouch and distribute them. Olivia gets her share. She doesn't say anything. Oh, sweet. Thank you, Inko. Damien, if you'd be so kind. Already on it. Damien cracks open the soda as Liz lowers her head down to him. She's wearing a novelty soda cap. That's great. He then speed swaps the old can with the new one, and almost like he's swapping wheels on a Formula One car. I love that. It says number 1 on it. That's great. Thank you. No problemo. Liz's head cranes back up to the top of the ceiling, continues eating the foliage. So, Nico, how's your day been so far? Did I skip? No, I didn't skip any dialogue. Okay, I thought I did for a second. It's been pretty decent, I'd say. I'm mostly looking forward to photography since Ben will show me some good photo spots. Cool. Damien nods. He continues to munch around his sandwich. I think he zoned out about halfway through my sentence. Oh, and Liz helped me submit my contest entry. Awesome. You can always rely on Liz to help you out. Flattery will get you nowhere, Damien. Just saying the honest truth. Liz entered the contest too, right? Everyone must be trying to win the cash prize. The money's okay. Liz comes down again with a mouthful of leaves. Her hand holds up a tray with each segment filled with different sauces. But the real prize is having your submission featured on the Sponsors Magazine cover in a featured article. It would be nice. So she's still articulate. Do you have any idea how great that looks on a resume? Heck, I can probably get a scholarship with that alone. Whoa, you really got all this planned out? Why would you submit? She takes a moment to swallow her salad and then shares a huge grin. I submitted my best digital art piece. Oh, what is it? Here. The tray is set aside so she can bring out her phone and show Damien and me her entry. It looks like a village townhouse piece. Very rustic and classy. It looks pretty good. Yo, that's so cool. It looks so realistic. Thanks. Took me about a week to get to really blend some of the more fanciful elements into each other. I base it off my grandfather's home from the old country. It's amazing. This is amazing. You can't even tell this whole thing's digital art at all. Damien grabbed a hold of Liz's phone and turned toward Olivia. Hey, Olivia. She jumps up, having been suddenly made relevant to the conversation. She was just spectating. What? I'm not giving these chips back. They're mine. I was going to show you Liz's entry. Olivia narrows her eyes and leans over the image on Liz's phone. They look up. Then she looks up and gives Damien a quick nod before returning to her chips. Damien's smile falters a little at her minimal response, though he's back on his usual grin as Liz takes back her phone. Wow, Liz, didn't know you were so into digital painting. That looks great. Do you plan on being an artist after you graduate? Oh, thanks. Well, no, I don't plan on being an artist per se. The plan is to be an antiques dealer specifically with art. Well, good luck with that, Liz. What's that mean? It means she'll buy the splattered canvases everyone just uses for money laundering. No, it's the real deal stuff. There's a real market out there for it. I'm taking some AP business classes and using the school's prestigious art program. It's actually why I picked this place out. There's a real elite selection of graduates from here. I love this baseline. So you're the school's treasurer, right? Sure am. I'm doing everything to make sure I'm ready for the real deal. I do love painting, though. It's not just a means, an ends to a means. That's why I want to get into trading. I can get the right people the right art they need. That's very thoughtful, huh? I should start thinking of my own future more. I wonder what Olivia thinks about this, if it even interests her. Damien is exaggeratedly nodding his head up and down. I don't know if he's greeting with Liz or headbanging to some tune in his head. Sigh. Huh? I look over to see Olivia down the chips bag looking pensive. to see Olivia staring down at the chips bag looking pensive. I guess I'm not the only one that's a bit worried about our long-term plans after school compared to Liz, but we got the whole year still. What about you, Damien? Eh, don't really have a big goal set. Only reason I'm going here is because it's the closest school to our home. Damien, you know I keep telling you about planning ahead. I know, I know. I like keeping my options open. So what are you doing in school? I picked out any classes that seemed interesting to me. Though I gotta say, home economics class is pretty fun. I get to make food and in class and eat too. From learning skills in class like that, you'll be a perfect husband. Yeah. Wait, what? What? You're adorable, Liz. But to get back to my point, the art contest. If I win and get the interview, it's an insane advantage. I'll say. By the way, Olivia, did you submit something for the art contest? Oh. She looks away slightly deflated. No. Really? Oh, crap. I must have had a chance then. I might have a chance then. Hey, Liz, that sounds a certain way. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Olivia rolls her eyes and merely goes back to munching her chips. Mr. Idekin said you were really into painting. I really like that portrait you made of me. Whoa, she what? Her suspicious leer is now replaced with a murderous glare. Yeah, lunch is the perfect time to eat my feet. I haven't actually seen any of her real work. You have, you just don't realize it. Only something she's done out of boredom. Olivia's eyes close and she inhales deeply. The air of neutrality returns to her as she reopens them. She looks up at me. She looks me up and down again as though something will be different this time. I can't. What's that mean? Besides, even if I could, they're gonna be looking for the best artists here, so you gotta show what to do. You gotta show that to them with how good your art is. I just don't want them to look at me and feel like they have to give me the reward out of pity. Oh, that's sad. Damien's face is frozen mid-bite his sandwich, losing its meat integrity by the second. His eyes flick between Olivia and I. I can practically hear the blaring alarms in his head as his brain catches fire trying to connect the dots. I want to be judged for my art and not. Olivia struggles to formulate the next few words and lets out a weary sigh. It would just feel so undeserved. How? Yeah, how? Damien, shh. Has that ever happened before? Do people really do that? You weren't there for it. Some losers used to tell me to take advantage of it. Why not? Yeah. Yeah, that was. Shut up, Inko. Dude, seriously? Why? I constantly get reminded of myself, so I can't separate myself from my work. How can I get complacent being worse so I can eventually rely on it? So playing the field can be even? That's a lot all at once. I'm not even sure I got all of that, but I definitely touched a nerve I shouldn't have. Yeah. Shut up, Inko. Oh, no, sorry. Olivia brushes her hair back down. Look, I don't want to get awards and praise I haven't earned. I'm seriously not that good. I really wouldn't win. She sighs and takes a long sip of cola. Can I see some of your work? No. Man, she really shouldn't put herself down like that. I get it. A lot of students here are crazy good at art. Some of them probably better now than I will ever be. They're just starting. It's pretty scary to think about. I mean, like the landscape of the city near the principal's office. Landscape? Hold on, I took a shot of it. It's a bit, it's a bit tough getting my camera out now with all the books I needed for class in the way. I lay on I lay out the contents of my backpack, taking my treasured DSLR out last. After finding the shot in question in the menus, I turn display toward everyone so they can see a glamour shot. A freshman made that painting. It's Olivia's art. It's Olivia's art. Just from looking at it, I can see why it won first place. I drew that. Oh, you're just now connecting the dots. You're slow, Inko. You're slow. Her name is on it, isn't it? My brain finally made the connection with the signature on the mural. That was you? Is it that much of a shocker to you? Quite a bit, yeah. It looks amazing. I mean, it's whatever. Had to have some dumb guy to help me out. So it's isn't like I was the one who did it all. So when you say you can't enter, it's because you already won once? Yeah, basically. She looks away from us, eating her chips in silence. I've heard the expression of being one's worst critic, but I've never expected Olivia to kick herself this hard. I'm mentally kicking myself thrice over for thinking that last part. Oh, is something wrong, Liz? Did she bite her tongue or something? Why is she imitating one of those picture plans right now? Liz? What's with the long neck? Well, just surprised to see you in better spirits is all. You're making it weird. Don't make it weird. Yeah, it's been ages, Olivia. Do you think a Randy like Inky here could got you to open up like that with just 2 days? He gestures to me. What'd you do, man? The girl in question freezes Damien's thoughtless comments, having thrust her into self-awareness. And she just leaves. Olivia, wait! She's gone. Well, she did give a warning. Yeah, I was just excited she was making good progress. The rest of lunch we'd spend trying to talk about Liz's art process. Damien looked like he wanted to try to bring Olivia back into the conversation, but no one had any idea where she'd gone to. Still, a part of me thinks she wants to talk. So why doesn't she? Sadly, no question. Sadly, a question for another time. Olivia's departure seems to signal the end of lunch. At least Liz and Damien waved goodbye, leaving me to clean up all the trash for the table, including everything I'd removed from my backpack. Darn it. Photography class comes and goes. We're not going to get more hanging out with Ben. Since we're partners, Idakin gives Ben and I the green light to walk around the campus. Ben shows me around to see his prime photo spots, and and such becomes my impromptu tour guide. It's actually pretty neat to see parts of the school I haven't explored yet until now. Places like music hall and recreational pool were most interesting to see. Currently at the courtyard, Ben points out the views of the outer landscapes around the city. No wonder why Ben was eager to show me. These views are impeccable. And while he's explaining the image he has in his head, my mind still wanders back to Olivia. I wonder what I did to make her express herself so much. Inko? Inko? Huh? I was asking you if you'd be available sometime during this weekend to take photos. I'm free on Saturday. Excellent. We can meet up back here. Sounds good. As I head back to class, I begin to think if there's something I can do in history class. Hello again, cute raptor teacher. At the end of the class, back in history class, Miss Pruckling continues prattling on about after a final offensive that led the entire city of Triceratops, Triceratops destroyed the Chthonian hegemony was defeated, bringing into the crimes against Dino and humankind. And with that, the Dino-Human War came to an end, and peace was finally declared after 10 years of strife. Of course, that was a matter of rebuilding and dousing all the fires still burning, as well as what to do with the bodies. And yawn. I should probably care more about Prockling's lectures, since history has extremely strong cultural connotations, but man, it is boring. It had to be Olivia has returned to her default sullen, deflated gloom. But she's so cute. She's not glaring back at me, so she's probably over whatever that was. Or she still doesn't know I'm here. Boy, will this be entertaining to see, assuming I don't end up with a mechanical pencil jammed through a lens. The other students are similarly bored, only occasionally marking down something whenever it sounds like it'll be on a review sheet at the end of the week. There is, of course, no more note passing today. I mean, you kind of expected that, right? Miss Prockling and Miss Prockling's effusion yesterday must still be on their minds. There won't be any more chances given, even though she doesn't seem like threatening on her own. The consequences could be dire, especially if she can call solely over like her own personal enforcer. There's simply no getting around it. This is just a period we'll all have to sit through, and there isn't even any solidarity to be had in our shared misery. It's simply the reality of high school history. The only saving grace is that she isn't stalking around the room for us to do something wrong. Instead, we're being lectured at. My hand mechanically copies down whatever she's written on the board. And while I should also be paying attention to what Miss Prockling is saying, I'm more than certain we'll be reading the exact things from our heavy textbooks. So my eyes wander away from her and the board to scan my peers, all equally bored and feigning interest. Eventually, there's a bit of movement ahead of me. Wait, she's up now? Olivia folds a sheet of notebook paper back and forth, discreetly creating a deep crease. She then licks her fingers and runs it along the crease and gently pulls. The paper rips through the seam silently. Oh, is she really risking it? What's she even got to gain? It's just a note-passing game. Maybe she feels bad because she got caught yesterday. Oh boy. Olivia passes the note to her left. The student next to her raises an eyebrow, but surprisingly takes the note. And I immediately passes it on without looking at it. One by one, classmates pass the note along to the next. Nobody dares open the note and write something in it. I serendipitously keep track of the note in the corner of my eye as it makes its way to the circuit around the room. Thankfully, Miss Prockling's eyes are focused on the board while I feel a tap on my shoulder. I reach for my ear as if to give it a scratch, and the folded paper is pushed into my waiting fingers against my ear. As I feel the edge grind against my earlobe, I chew my lip to keep a hiss of pain contained. Did he just get a paper cut on his ear? Because that would be really, really fucking annoying. Like, can you imagine that? A fucking paper cut on your ear? Probably unintentional, but a paper cut yeah, I was right. It's a paper cut on his ear. Especially on such a fleshy part. My fingers toy with the bundle of paper at the desk. No one else had bothered. I wouldn't exactly call it an empty canvas, but there could be potential here. There's a crumpling noise beneath my fingertips. Must have unfolded it while I was thinking, looking down at the sole doodle on the sheet. I see a pretty simple rat drawing with a very realistic hand next to it giving a thumbs up. There's plenty of space and time. Miss Prockling's preoccupied with the front desk. I doubt she'd even notice. The temptation is there, making my fingers itch at finally being able to real chance to do something fun in this sleep-inducing class. In fact, I've got the perfect idea in mind to catch Olivia's attention. If this doesn't ruin everything, that's it. She's not uncompassionate, but Miss Prockling has a lot less tolerance for horseplay in her class. We probably wouldn't get another chance. And by Coach Sully's one chance policy and how these guys aren't even considering playing along, I bet it really wouldn't be pretty. Boy, you get lost in thought a lot, don't you? Kind of makes me concerned for Olivia. I could just hold on to the note and give it back after class. Heck, Olivia would never even know. I don't think she even knows I'm in this class. I bet she does. Let's draw her on a half pipe. A wheelchair on a half, because a wheelchair on a half pipe is a funny idea. Let's do that. Yeah. What's life without a bit of risk? I wait for Miss Prockling to start a new tangent to make sure I have enough time. She just said something to the single continent movement. Time to move. This is going to be so. It's going to be basically a stick figure, but it's just a doodle. I should have saved the at the choice, and I didn't. I keep forgetting to. If you could doodle a photograph, if only you could doodle a photograph, I'm not sure what I mean by that. I also don't know how to draw a wheelchair. In the end, it looks like an abstract depiction of a bow-legged T-Rex than what I wanted. Oops, it'll have to do. I check it over one last time as if conceptualization to improve. Oh well, I pass the note forward carefully, not only to not notify the teacher. Olivia takes the note over her shoulder once more, not checking it. She seems to deflate a bit at opening the note, probably because of all the blank space. Doesn't look like she recognizes whatever I did either. Maybe I should talk about it with her after class. I don't know. It seems like an okay thing to do. She just passed the note again. What? Once more, the process of students taking the note and passing it along without looking at it, although this time it's a little more collectively annoyed. It's probably not. It probably won't go around again. Why the heck did Olivia send the note off again? Nobody's going to change their mind to draw something now. Is this desperation? Thoughtlessness? Whatever it is, the note's coming my way again. Once I take it, I confirm yes. Once again, nobody else wrote on it. Oh shit, ad. Are back. However, there is a doodle of a rat with a flamethrower from Olivia. Cute. Although I guess this time I'll draw. How about adding myself to the sketch on the half pipe? This time I just depict myself as a stick figure. No one's trying to go outside by. No use trying to go outside my skill level for no passing game. It's simple enough to do. I even include my sunglasses. Yeah, I'm liking this. Maybe I should make sure Miss Prockling isn't looking my way. Yeah, she's not right now. I'm in luck. Alright, time to pass it on. I pass the note forward once more. Olivia pinches the note again and between two fingers, still not looking back. I keep saying that, but I guess it's not weird. Why would you look back in that situation? Yeah, I mean, if you turn around and look, you're probably asking to get caught. You know what I mean? She checks the note and looks down again. She glances up at the corner I'd drawn in. A crack! I nearly fall out of my seat at the sudden noise. There's a moment of unwavering silence as a voice speaks up. Miss Halford? The girl in question shrinks in her seat in embarrassment. Sorry, Miss Brockling, I saw a spider. Miss Brockling simply sighs, muttering to herself before turning her attention back to the writing more notes on the board. She turns her head back slowly, just enough to be able to make eye contact with me. While she eyes me with judging contempt and curiosity, I see her hand tenderly massaging the tip of her tail. She's cute! Looking at the floor, I think she managed to ship the linoleum. As long as Brockling turns around to continue teaching, Olivia scribbles something down. She turns to look at me once more, hesitating. Then she flicks the note in my direction. It completely misses me. I try to catch it midair, but it ends up slamming my face into the desk to get it. Ouch! Mr. Nito, what was that noise? I palmed the note into my sleeve and strained to keep my injured eyes open. The teacher probably meant the foot stomping. I found the spider, Miss Brockling. The teacher grimaces. That better be cleaned up by the end of class, Mr. Nito. Yes, ma'am. I breathe in a sigh of relief as my excuse weathers Miss Brockling's stare. She turns a few pages in a textbook lying on her desk, instructing the class to do the same as she searches for something. She's distracted. I can finally see what Olivia drew. There's now a surprisingly detailed dodgeball wheezing towards my stick figurehead. I want to be upset, but I find myself admiring her motion lines. She should be an animator. Maybe she will be someday. She's very talented at art, obviously. I mull over what to add, settled on giving the large rat sunglasses as well. A few seconds later, he looks twice as cool as before. Sunglasses, cool band. Nobody's gonna get that reference. I look, big sunglasses, cool band. I look up at Olivia, pondering how to get it back to her when a sinister idea comes to mind. Her hood hangs open and it rests on her back. It's a tough shot, but bingo. Olivia scratches the back of her neck and finds the note. She looks back at me with squinted eyes, judging my intent and scanning for foul play. She mouths something at me, a question I think, but I am not the most apt-lipped reader. Especially when said lips are thrice as long as a human's. Yeah, I mean, she's got a big old snout, so that would be tough to lip read, you know? I would imagine their mouths move very, very differently when they talk compared to humans. Still, she unfolds the page, and seconds later, she's already added a new sketch and folded it up. A note lands neatly on my desk. This time I inspect the latest editions. More rats doing decidedly non-rat activities. I wonder what she'd think of a cat this time. We continue passing the sheet back and forth, adding new sketches and adding to others. My fingers starting to tire when Miss Prockling addresses Olivia. All right, Miss Alfred, you may leave now. Everyone else may take the last 5 minutes to start on your homework. Stand on your home. Olivia takes her time to pack away her supplies, occasionally glancing my way. Gone is the paranoia. It's now become just plain confusion. As if I wouldn't play the doodle game thing with her. Even as she wheels out of the room, I notice her eyes still on me. I give her a wave goodbye. She seems shocked by that, turning her head and finally passing through the doorway. Right then, homework. Ah, crap. It's only now occurs to me that there's a pretty good reason the teacher doesn't want us slacking off in class. You think? This just now occurred to you? For the last 5 minutes, I tried to speed read the second chapter in its entirety, failing to get any good information to use for today's homework. I resolve to just check online for a lecture that's not as boring. Maybe one with a good animation even. When the rest of us are finally excused, I realize I've still got the page full of doodles. Considering all the stuff on it, it'd feel like a waste just to toss it away. I decide to keep it, slipping it into my binder's extra plastic sleeve. With everything safely packed away, I shoulder my backpack and exit the room. Oh, it's 1 a.m. I've been streaming for a couple of hours. I think I'm going to stop here and go watch some Star Trek for a little while. So I just saved, so I'm not going to lose any progress. So thank you all. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get in a birthday stream or not, but it is past midnight. It is now my birthday. We are having a party. My brother and uncle and my brother and his wife and my uncle are all coming over and stuff. So if I can fit in a stream after that, we'll see. I will let you guys know. Keep an eye on my Twitter. But for now, let's see if there's anybody to raid. Let's see if there's anybody to raid. Literally no one I'm following is online. Alright. So I'll just end it here. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye, everybody.